Donald Trump has released the details for what his potential replacement for the Affordable Care Act might look like. Today on the Young Turks, we're going to break down some of the details because you'll be surprised to find out that the policy kind of sucks. Or I should say individual elements of it do. First of all, and I'm just going to start with this because it's most significant, he's going to reverse the part of the Affordable Care Act that most Republicans can't even say they would get rid of. It allows insurers to deny coverage to sick people. Trumpcare would also allow the return of underwriting, where insurers can charge some subscribers more because they're especially sick. So he's bringing back people can be banned for having pre-existing conditions. And if you get the coverage and then you develop cancer or diabetes or some sort of chronic illness, they can either charge you more or they can boot your ass.
So newsflash, Donald Trump has no idea what he's talking about. I want to dispel the notion that he has any idea what he's talking about because he doesn't. Number one, he first said he was for the mandate, and then he found out, hey, schmuck, all the Republicans have been saying for decades, not decades, for decades early they were for the mandate when it was their plan, have been saying all this time against Obama that they hate the mandate's the worst part. So he comes out a couple of days later, he's like, yeah, I'm against the mandate.
Yeah.
Okay, because he doesn't even know what the mandate is, never gave it a moment's thought. He's just, like, he figures, and he's deduced this correctly so far in the Republican race, it doesn't matter what I say as long as I shout it, right? And include an insult with it, right? I'm for the mandate, you little bitch. They're like, oh, good one. Yeah, Trump. I'm against the mandate. You have a small penis. And everybody's like, that's great. So then on the pre-existing condition, he said it in a debate. He said it over and over. You know how he likes to repeat things. No, I like the pre-existing condition. I think we need to keep that. We need to keep that, okay? We need to keep it, right? Now he comes out and says, yeah, I didn't mean it.
Well, I mean, he kept referring to it as we need to keep pre-existing conditions.
I love pre-existing conditions.
I love them. That's not you. But that's a problem. You don't like the problem. You like the solution, which is that you don't deny people for pre-existing conditions. And you know what's funny to me is that Donald Trump is running around saying they're all going to repeal Obamacare. They have nothing to replace it with, except Donald Trump says that we're going to replace it with something much, much better. But Bernie Sanders is the guy who's crazy, pie in the sky with plans that'll never work because he wants to institute health care that has worked in every other Western industrialized nation in the world. But Bernie's crazy, but Donald Trump and Ted Cruz, those guys are really down to earth.
Yeah.
They don't have any crazy ideas of what they want government to do, except he does have a crazy idea of what he wants government to do, and nobody holds his feet to the fire until frickin' Marco Rubio did it, and as soon as he asked them, he fell apart.
He fell apart, yeah. And that's probably why he released this plan. Now, of course, on his website, it doesn't say, I will allow you to be banned for pre-existing conditions, but it lays out all of his priorities for the replacement, and it doesn't say anything about maintaining it. It also, by the way, doesn't say anything about one of the things that he gets credit for is his acknowledgement that we can't allow people to simply die on the streets. It doesn't say anything about how it would stop people from dying on the streets. It doesn't say anything about how we would increase the likelihood that more people will have insurance. Almost every element of this implies that fewer people would end up having insurance. But we'll talk about some more. Let's see. It would allow individuals to fully deduct health insurance premium payments from their tax returns under the current tax system, which sounds good. But that benefits high-income families that itemize their deductions and pay high enough taxes that they can afford to deduct from it. Poorer tax filers rarely itemize, and because they don't pay as significant amount of taxes, they can't deduct the entirety of especially expensive health care. Now, with the current system, Obamacare offers tax credits instead because those are of equal value to any household that can claim them. That's why they use the deductions instead of the tax credits, because they don't want the poor people to benefit from it, or middle-class people. They want rich people to.
So this is the perfect example of what Republicans do, right? So the whole point of the program isn't to help you. The whole point of the program is to help rich people. And they say, I got a great plan, and they throw out, I'm going to let you itemize this on your tax plan so you can take the insurance off your taxes. And it sounds good. It sounds like they're on your side. No, but it's only for rich people because poor people can't itemize at all. They don't have enough money to be able to hit the minimum to itemize. It's not going to help the poor and the middle class almost at all. The poor, not at all. The middle class, almost not at all, right?
And they'll lose the subsidies as well.
And so that's why the Obama plan is clearly better, because it says it doesn't matter if you're poor, middle class, you got a family of 3, you're only making $36,000, that's okay. You're going to get a tax credit, and anyone can use that tax credit. So by doing this plan, this is designed to help rich people and screw over the poor and the middle class.
Yeah.
And they turn around and go, you see that? I gave people itemized deduction. I'm for the people. That's why I did the tax cut. No, the whole thing is a lie. Every time, every one of their proposals is a Trojan horse. It's built to look appealing. I got this lovely little present for you. Don't worry. And then the little guys come out of it and take all your money and extract that wealth and give it to the rich. Yeah. There's another Easter egg in here that does the same thing. What Trump talked about in that debate with Marco Rubio, what the Republicans, that's their number one go-to move on health care. We got to get rid of all this bureaucracy and we got to let the different states compete with one another. It sounds so good. We're Americans. We want competition. Sounds like that'll lower the price, right? No. The point of that proposal is if you allowed, take away the lines between the states, as Donald Trump put it in the debate, it means the insurance companies can go and live in any of those states and be able to give insurance in a different state. What does that lead to? It leads to finding the state that has the least amount of regulation and the least amount of taxes. So they all flock to a state like Delaware, okay? And then all of a sudden, insurance just got completely deregulated, so there are almost no protections for you because they all went to the state with the least amount of regulations, which is exactly what the Republicans want to do to make the drug companies, the insurance companies, all richer at your expense. And that's their present to you.